Today we're going to talk about customizing your Sage desktop. There are many ways to navigate inside a Sage 100 Contractor, and we're going to talk about a few of them today. One is the system menu. And you can see here that all the modules have numbers, and some people who use Sage 100 Contractor are used to those numbers. But did you know that you can navigate on your number pad on your keyboard throughout those modules? So if I hit 4 on my keyboard and then I hit enter, I can see that it will open the different modules. And I can also collapse this menu by hitting escape on my keyboard. The second is My Menu. My Menu is a customized menu per user, not per company. So even if you're the supervisor or administrator on Sage 100 Contractor, that you could customize this to be just the things that you want to see. 3 is the icon tabs, or activity centers they call them. So as you notice, when I hover over these, there are drop downs that you can follow. The same menus are over here to the left in System Menu and My Menu. The fourth thing I'd like to talk about today is actually clicking on each one of these tab icons, and you'll see that these already have preset workflows in them. But today I'm going to also show you how to set up a customized workflow on your Home and Resources desktop. You'll notice that there are buttons at the bottom of the screen. And the two that I'm going to talk about today is Hide Menu and Settings. So the first one, Hide Menu, will actually hide this left number menu. So we'll try it out. And then you can just toggle it back on by saying Show Menu. So if you are a better navigator up here at the tab icons instead of the number menu, you can just hide that. The other one is the Settings button. This will do a few things. First, it will show you if you want to see the dashboard when you log in. And then you can hide all activity centers, which are these tab icons up here. And we can try that. We can say save, hide all those, and then go back into settings and show all the settings, show all the tab icons again. You'll also notice that there is a drop down here where you can pick and choose which ones you want to see. So if you had an employee who didn't need to see payroll tab icon, then you can just uncheck that, hit save, payroll disappears from up here. So that's what the Hide Menu button and the Settings button do. So let's switch back for a minute to the Customize My Menu. There's a button down here called Customize My Menu, and this great little window comes up where you can pick and choose what you want to see on this menu. So you can customize this for an employee if you're logged in as them, say for instance that they only deal in accounts receivable and nothing else. So you can select it. You can even go all the way down to the level of the report. And you say save my menu after you've chosen, and it disappears from my menu. You can always change that at any time by clicking the customize my menu and going back and selecting what you need them to see. Something important to remember is a lot of these things that we're showcasing today are changeable at any time. A lot of them are toggle switches that you turn off and on, and that you can change them. So if you can even restore back to the original state if you went too far with icons and such. So let's talk about the desktops within Sage 100 Contractor now. So these desktops, like I mentioned before, have their own pre-designed workflows that are changeable per user. So we're going to build a payroll workflow on the Home and Resources tab. You can have a little brainstorming session with your office to find out, what do the employees do every day on a regular basis? What is their workflow? And then you can create that in here just to save yourself a little bit of time. So let's create a payroll workflow on our Home and Resources tab. And how you get into these desktops is this little click here to edit your shortcuts. So we're going to click that, and we're going to talk about these buttons for a minute. You have help, undo, clear all, restore, save, cancel, and then you have these little icons over here. And if you hover over them, they will tell you what they do. You can manually connect tasks, you can automatically connect tasks, you can draw boxes, lines, and then finally you can delete objects. So if we were building a payroll workflow, we would come over here to our payroll thing, and Sage already has a natural progression here built in of what you should do first. Let's drag our employees out there because we would create an employee, and then we would create a payroll record. We would do compute payroll, and then actually the direct deposit file manager comes before payroll checks if you're using that. And then payroll checks, post to GL, And then you can also add reports to this. So if I always run the federal tax, the state tax, and how about an hours report? And then something really cool is you can drag and drop shortcuts into here from any program that you can create a shortcut for. So I have an example payroll checklist that I'm going to drag in here. And so this is just a shortcut. It's not the actual file, so it'll usually take you out to wherever you have that file saved. But it's a nice feature so that you can have everything in one place. And you can drag folders here as well. If you had a folder out on your desktop or out on your server where you needed to drag it in, you could do that. And then I'll show you real quickly how to draw some lines between them. This gets a little bit hairy because of all the arrows, but if you just click on these arrows, then it will quickly draw lines between them. And then we could draw a nice little box around the outside of this to say this is our payroll workflow. You could also have one for accounts payable. However much real estate that you can capture here, you can certainly have a workflow built. So then if you didn't like it, you could say, I'm going to delete a couple objects. So just highlighting it and using this delete key, you can delete whatever you don't like. And when you are done and you have your your workflow all formatted the way you want it, you hit save. And then it's concrete in here, but you can change it. So if you go back to click here, you can restore it to the original, you can clear all, you can do all of those buttons that we talked about before. So they're changeable. This is just a helpful tip to save you a little bit of time in your day-to-day work. So that is Sage Desktops.